the lead source. Where are we getting our leads? Right? You have to say, well, these are the areas I'm going to work in. Some of you all said social media. That's like the big buzzword today in real estate right now. I'm going to go make a TikTok video. You'll all actually love my TikToks. So I'm sorry, Joel, I forgot you were here. But the thing is not your thing. Then you need to create the process. So we know that your lead source is number one, Joel, it would be TikToks or social media, we'll say, right? And then we're going to see what activities you're going to do to get to each one. Okay, and we're going to actually break this out more when we do the sphere of influence, because that's the easiest one. Okay. And why don't we just do that? We'll do the social media one. We'll erase this out. So social media is going to be one of these sections here, okay? So how many touches do we have to touch our database a year? Anyone? Don't answer that, Joel. Does anyone know how many touches? 36 touches, right. We have to do 36 touches. Okay. What's that? You're such a dork. Okay, great. So 36 touches, okay? I used to do this on here, so it was more interactive, but we're just going to go with it. All right, so no matter which guru you follow in the real estate community, how many times, and they all agree on the same thing, how many times do we call our database a year?
4 times.
4 times. I don't give you Mike Ferry, Brian Buffini, Gary Keller, or whoever the hell you are, they all say the same thing 4 times, okay? So if you do anything in the world, call your database 4 times a year. It makes only sense. So you're going to go call DB. And I always put the number of my touches on it, okay? Just keep track, okay? So what we're doing here is these activities down here, we're filling in the activities for that one thing, okay? So stay with me on this. What else? So we have 4 out of 36. What else can we do? Anyone? Email? How many?
12.
12, right, because we could do the market updates, right? Because command does that, right? So email 4. What else? Mailers, okay. Good. How many are you going to do them? Email, not 12, sorry. How many mailers would you think are just send out? 2 times? 12. 12? 12 works? We'll do 12. I'm going to go with Larry. Okay. I'm going to call it DM for direct mail. Okay, so now we're 24 to 5, 6, 7, 28, 29, 30, 31. We're at 32. So this is where we always do our specialty. So like, you really need to get your 36. Okay. So you have to figure out what other things can we do. I'm going to throw in a couple things to help you out. We do a special mailing for 4th of July. And we'll send out what we do is what you could do in Bucks County, blah, 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 whatever, okay? What is something that people love that they get sent to them?
Magnets.
Magnets, yeah, that's right. How many magnets can we send in a year? What? A lot of fucking magnets. Oh, geez, by the way, guys, I have no filter either, okay? All right, so please, if you don't know me, you need to know me to love me. Okay, so I love the sports calendars. I have this one, so my old transaction coach, her name was Kelsey Mandelli. And every time a season starts, one of my clients takes a picture of Kelsey Mandelli's sports calendar and sends it to me and says, this agent is so much better than you. And they do it jokingly, but the thing is that people love the sports calendars. And she does 3 of them a year. Okay, that's how we break this out, okay? And you guys keep going. Like, I could go crazy, right? Don't do Christmas cards, do Thanksgiving cards. Because everyone sends out a Christmas card, Not as many sent out Thanksgiving cards. You just got to be creative and figure out. You just want to touch them, and trust me, they're gonna look at it, throw it away. They're gonna see the email and just move on. It's not the content of the activity; it's you actually touching them. Okay, and reminding them in a light fashion that you're a real estate agent. Okay. Oh, birthday cards. Does everyone know where to find out your birthday cards of your clients? What their birth dates are?
Oh, yeah, I have a
Driver's license, I do that too. How about the ones you didn't sell a house to?
Facebook.
Right there.
Facebook.
Okay. Here's this one thing I've actually started doing this year. House anniversaries. So what I do is I go out to public records and find them. When did they buy the house? Now they're gonna get these cards.
Even if they didn't buy it from you?
Yeah, who cares? Like, they're gonna say, oh my God, Joel, it's so cool. Like, how did you know? I know. I remember that moment great in my past. No, but no, it really helpful. You guys you get that in. It's perfect. It's time consuming, but knowing that is actually the killer. Oh my God, you've been there for 5 years. That's wonderful. Wow, 7 years. You must build some great memories. Let's build some new ones and buy a new house. I don't know, man. Say whatever you want. Okay, so think about the different ones. Okay, so when we're looking at stuff like this, and you guys keep going on, I could do a whole class on the 36 touch, but all of these go on here in the event and the activities. Okay, you're going to see another one for my short sales and my pre-foreclosures and stuff like that. Remember, our main goal is to get listings. Buyers are going to come anyway. Okay. All right. Just keep that in mind as you guys go forward. All right. The main things is if you keep looking for listings, you're going to get listings. And listings always come with buyers. But if you keep looking for buyers, what are you going to get? You get buyers. And hardly any of them will have a listing. Okay. If you go look at the reverse, you will actually get both. All right. Okay, so then we have this. Any questions about the 135? Good. Yeah.
So what are your three?
My 3 are expires physical, well, cold calls. I do that. My second one is my web leads because I have my website. And the third one is my sphere of influence. What are your 3?
So I have open houses, neighborhood calls. We have 2.
2. Okay, great. So it's better to have 2 and be great than have 10 and you don't do shit. So Debbie Breen, who he was the team lead in Langhorne, but now is the broker, she used to say, you and Kim are great. You guys are jack of all trades and good at nothing. So, and she was right. She was. It wasn't until I started cutting back the shit I was doing until I started becoming more effective with what I was doing. And I bring this up because the reason why Gary Keller wrote the one thing and why there's a GPS is because us agents, we get attracted to shiny objects. And what I mean by that is if you haven't been getting the phone calls, you will be getting them very quickly about all the great things of how you can buy the magic pill of how to make a fortune in this industry. And guess what? There is no magic pill. The only pill that really works is Verizon sells it, and it's called a telephone. And we actually have to pick it up and make phone calls. All right, I'm sorry. Okay. I don't care if you're going to be direct messaging on FaceTime on your phone or you're going to be calling on your phone. There's a phone involved here, people. Okay, so we just need to do that more. Okay.
So what would your activities be for, say, expires at FISBO? Like,
expires at FISBO would be well, there's going to be smaller ones. Call 3 hours a day. Make X amount of contacts. So my business standard is what we're talking about when we look at this, is I have to be on the phone for 3 hours a day, and I need to talk to 32 people. And I can't go home till that happens. I'll be honest with you, that 3 hours a day, like today, I was on the phone, got on at 9 o'clock, and everybody wanted to talk to me. And it killed me. I only got 7. Okay. I will be calling we late this to this evening and probably this weekend to get caught up because I was very fortunate that a lot of people were talking to me. So after you start doing this gig for a while, you're going to know your numbers. I know for every 75 people I talk to, I'm going to get a listing appointment. I have a 50% conversion ratio. So that means I need to talk to 150 people before I get a listing. Okay. Those are the numbers you're going to develop and need to know. And that's why we always need to track our numbers. Okay. By the way, my conversion ratio is low. So 50% is the base minimum. That's showing off. And that's because Kimmy, the wife, used to do all the listing presentations. She used to have an 85% conversion rate, but I'm starting to take over the business. And I suck, quite frankly. So I need to work on those skills. Okay. And just so you know, do you call expireds?
I have not.
Are you witches calling expireds?
Yeah.
Are you going to power hour in the morning?
I have been, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So you're not committed to your success.
I am not consistent.
Oh, consistent, right. So consistency is key. And it's our biggest problem as agents in this business. Okay. It really is. I mean, it drives us crazy. Okay. I mean, talk to Marnie, talk to Terry, talk to all the people here. Okay. They'll tell you the hardest part of this business is consistency and follow up. Okay. That is the death of us. Okay. I forgot to call someone 2 weeks ago. And I called them yesterday to find out that they sold their house at a wholesaler because I was thinking I lost $7,000 in a blink of an eye. That's stupid, right? Right? You could say it. Say it's stupid. Exactly. It's really stupid. The thing is, when we really look at the numbers, okay, so when you do know your numbers and you know your average sales price, you actually know how much each phone call costs. I'll be honest. When you call expireds, you will be yelled at. There is no way around it. You are going to be yelled at. You're going to you need to be pleasant. Okay. You need to be nice. You have to remember that you're there to provide a service. When I'm calling my expireds, I feel like I'm on a mission that they actually hire a good agent this time and not some other agent that's going to screw them over. Okay. Because we do have a lot of colorful people in this business, do we not? Right? So we have to make sure we have to keep them all together. Okay. So you got to make sure that you believe in your service and what you're doing. Okay. FSBOs, they're the easiest ones to capture, and they're my biggest phobia. I have a hard time calling all for sale by owners. Okay, for sale by owners, they freak me out. But it's stupid because they're easy money. They're actually selling you. I'm trying to sell my house. Can you help me? That's what a FSBO is, right? Like they really are. So.
Do you use a specific platform to get your leads?
So there's a lot of different platforms you can use. Okay. Before we dive into this, I have to do the KW non-disclosure of don't forget to check the do not call list before you make any phone calls. Okay, moving on from that. So you have to so I use Mojo. The Mojo sells. Okay, a lot of people use Vulcan. They have great data, but they're a little more pricier. And there's Arch Agent. Okay. And they all come with a dialer. But if you're going to be making cold calls, I would highly recommend a dialer. Do you use a dialer? He doesn't use a dialer. He's old school. Yeah.
What is the name of the service for the dialer?
You can do Mojo Cells, Vulcan 7.
Red X.
Red X is another one, yes. They're all pretty good. I mean, really what I have, what?
I need Mojo,
I like Mojo. What I do is I buy my data from a different source. I buy from Arch Asia, import the Mojo. But remember that if you're going to use a triple line dialer, that you check your local municipalities to make sure that multi-line dialers are legal in your area. Okay.
I have banned police.
I've never done so many disclosures in 5 minutes of my life. So anyway, so does that make sense, guys? Okay.
Yeah.
So now we get everything down, right? So you're gonna see so my maths coach, when I was in maths coaching, he's the one that created this particular one. He had date completed on here, and we added when we're gonna have it. So we're dealing with something like this, we're gonna actually say this is the dates we're gonna have it done. in this particular case from here, we put it on a calendar, and then we would fill out, if you go to your last page, the 411 from the GPS. I find it weird that we actually teach 411s without the GPS attached, because the GPS is the base of where the 411 comes from, okay? All right, so let's talk about the 411. Any more questions for the GPS before we jump into 411? Okay, so in the regular 411, and it's here right there, except it's cut off a little bit, there's two sections, your annual goals, your business goals, and then there's your personal goals. Last page. All right. Does anyone know why the 411 has a business and a personal to it? Have balance. Does anyone know the industry with the most divorces? Anyone? It's called real estate. Okay, so the thing is that the reason why we have the personal side is so that way we can actually not ignore our personal life, okay? Because if we don't, and it really should. And some of them like me, like as you probably can imagine, going to the gym is on mine because obviously we need work, okay? You got to look at what exactly you want to accomplish for the year, okay? So if we go back to the GPS real quick, I'm going to flip flop because I also have ADHD, is that you can create a GPS for your personal life too. I have created personal GPSs for home projects, okay? My goal, hypothetically, build a birdhouse. These are the 3 ways I'm going to get there. These are the activities to achieve it, okay? I had one after my divorce. I actually had a GPS for my daughter because I'm also a workaholic, because that's the great thing about being a real estate agents. We're all workaholics. To reestablish a relationship with my daughter. I actually had one. I followed through with it. Okay, so and then every week you would fill this out. So going back to your annual goals, you would write down your annual goals. So they have 4 annual goals. Okay, so you're going to see there's different formats for your GPS no matter where you go. So your 411. So with your 411, okay, my own goals will actually be 60 units. Okay, I know how many listings and sales I'm going to do. All right, so Larry, are you 50-50 on your sales versus listings?
We are.
Yeah.
Very close.
I've been trying since the beginning of time. I've been trying to be just a listing agent, and I fail every year. So I usually try to be 70% listings. It doesn't work, guys. It's always 50-50. Try. I mean, you should be focused on the listing side because the buyers just come along with it. But for the most part, when you do it, you kind of know you're going to do about 50-50, the buyers and sellers. Okay. Personal side. Okay. Your goal may be I want a better relationship with my significant other. Okay. Your activities, okay, obviously would be date nights and stuff like this, okay? So we know our annual goals, 60 units. How many goals? So then we jump down to your monthly goals. How many units do we have to do to hit our goals, right? So who had 12 here? You did. So how many do you have to do in January? Oh, perfect. All right, that's great. So is it going to be one closing or one under contract? What is it you're going to actually do in January? You're going to close, so that means you're going to have to get them under contract now, this month. Okay, good. All right, so that's how you have to think about it. Okay, we have to think about is I track my under contracts because they're a lot easier. In the one thing they talk about lagged leads. Okay, what are you tracking? So why do we track? If you track your closings at the end of the day, the reason why we track how many calls we make is because that is something attainable that we can track. If we just track closings, you're going to get bored, frustrated, you're going to walk away. Okay. That's why we always look, it's called a lead indicator. So our lead indicator is we know we need to make 32 calls. Or if you're bold, who is in bold? You know to make 20 calls a day, right? It's 20, right? Okay, good. So that's under my monthly goals. So if you're going to make 20 a day, how many is that a month? Huh? 400, right. So your monthly goal is going to be 400. Okay. Also, your monthly goal would be, because if we go back to our GPS where we have to do it, we know that we have to send out an email. So we need to put that on our 411, guys. And then we need to go and let's see. Well, we better start DTD2, right? That's what we did. Right, good. And we need to do our, I would definitely put it, I have to do a direct mail, so that would go on there. That was terrible. I said DM. I was about to say direct message. Right? Anyway, I digress. So that's why we keep the GPS. We want to double check the GPS and see how it's applying to our 411. So that way we can keep track. And as you go through the month, you're going to cross things off. Oh, did it. If you didn't do all your calls, one week you did 50, the next week you need to do 150, right? If you don't hit your goals one week, it gets pushed into the next week. Okay. All right. Hold on, I'm looking at my whole thing here. Okay. So those are going to be activities. So we're going to break it out by the weeks. Okay. Any questions on that? Has anybody been doing a 411 in this room? Joel, of course. Larry, of course.
I do a little bit.
So that's the thing. That's why Heather brought me in. Everyone does the GPS and the 411 a little bit different from the next person. It's a personal thing. I actually think so. When I was the coach at the Langhorne, I actually got an argument with one of my transaction coaches about how she was teaching it. But then I learned that it's really a personal thing. I mean, like, this works better with my mind. You may use your GPS differently, okay? This is a great start. But I would definitely say get on KW Connect and look at the different ways of doing the GPS. I like this because I'm more analytical. It keeps me accountable to who the hell I really am, because I'm a space cadet by nature. Okay, and I need a schedule to keep me together. Okay, all right. How do you do yours differently, Joel?
So, before when I was independent agent, before I was with Justin Ball, I did it this way. Well, I did it in blocks, my GPS, like not as like organized as this, I would say. But my 411, I do in a spreadsheet on Google. So I break it down by the week and the day. So I do, like, let's say it says open houses for the weekly. It's like open houses, calls, 2 to 3 contacts in your database. There's a couple things on there. Personally, me, I like to have 3 TikToks a week. It's like my minimum for my 411. So I have those in a row, and then I put in, like, let's say I did 1 open house that week. I would put a 1 for that day, and I do it by the week. So it's like the dates at the top, and then the list. And that way, at the end of the year, I can just add up. Instead of saying like yes or no or like a checkbox, I just do the numbers. So like if it was 3 contacts, I put 3 in there. If it was 1 open house, I put 1 in there. And at the end of the year, you can add the spreadsheet up. Like I did 25 open houses, or I did 40 TikToks, whatever it is. So for my brain, it just works. Like I rather just type a number in and then move on to the next thing. Like I've used CTE for like entry for that type of stuff, and I hate it. Like I hate having to click on a form and fill something out, and then wait, I forgot to put something in. Like with the spreadsheet, I can just go back, put the number in, and close that tab out and go on to the next. Actually,
That's cool.
I stole that from Justin. Yeah.
Right. See, everyone has their own flavors, and that's what you have to do. You just have to make yourself. The reason why we have these tools is to keep yourself accountable. Okay. And by the way, as soon as does everyone know what the first thing I did after I left being the productivity coach?
Yes.
Do you know what I did?
Yes.
No, I hired a coach. Because I think everybody needs a coach. You need to be held accountable. The 411 is just a tool for you to do daily activities, but we all need to be held accountable to someone, especially in this industry where we can. Let's be honest. You didn't have to show up today, and nobody would have noticed, right? I mean, it's a fact of life. Okay. We definitely need to actually treat this gig like a gig. All right, not like a hobby. All right. The one thing I recommend to everyone is we're entering a skills business. So we left a free for all. I hated the market we were in. You hated it, I know. It was a business where all you had to do is smile and you could sell anything. I got a call from one of my old agents. Oh my God, Joe, I took a listing. I'm thinking no showings. I go, all right, well, when did you list it? She goes, this morning. I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. I was like, the market has changed. So, I mean, so you guys all need to learn your scripts. So if Bold doesn't have the price reduction scripts anymore, do they? Who's in Bold? They don't? Okay. Okay, so ask for the classic Bold scripts, okay? Because those are the scripts that are going to get you through this market we're going into. Know how to get price reductions. Know how to actually work with them because, okay, there's a good chance that we're going to be walking into a recession, okay? I hope I'm wrong, but I doubt it, okay? What's that?
Aren't we there?
We'll talk about it. So the thing is, what happens in recession is people are losing their houses. They're getting divorces. It's harder times, okay?
A lot of layoffs.
A lot of layoffs, right? We're going to be dealing with that. We need to know how to actually serve our client base and to help them out because they're tough times, okay? This business, I mean, everyone looks at us saying we make a lot of money, right? Right? Is that why you all got into this business? Woohoo! I'm going to go show some houses. Then one day, I'm going to, you're realistic.
I didn't get into it just to make a ton of money. I got into it to actually help people that own
To help people.
So, and it sounds kind of cliche that we say that, but it's the truth. Like, people get mad at me because I don't want to make a ton of money.
Well, you know, the money will come. The money will come.
Yeah, exactly.
My list tenants, all those people I talked to today, I was talking to pre-foreclosure people today. Guess how many appointments I got? 0. But they all know to call their bank. I am going to follow up with them because the fortune is in the follow-up. But they know to call the bank to apply for their mortgage modification. Okay? I make good money at this business. And I save a lot of lives, still get by not making money in this business too. So, I mean, we have to look at what kind of service are we offering our people out there. Okay? The bottom line is you're not going to help out anybody unless you pick up the phone. And that's what it comes down to. We're not going to, it isn't like someone's going to call you up and say, hi, I'm in trouble. Can you help me? So you need to know the scripts. I actually have role play partners every day. So every day at 7:30, I get a role play. I role play with somebody, pretending that they're expired, FISBO, Sphere, whatever. Got to know, and I will get comfortable. All right. When I call people now, I don't get nervous. Even expired are the worst ones out there, everyone, just so you know, before you get the calls. But you're there to offer service. If they yell at you, it just means that you're not a good fit. You know? So
They're just angry in general. It's
They're
not,
just
you know,
angry
it's
in
not
general.
personal.
you're right. You know, I'd sit there and I'm like, it's fine. You know, I had this one lady last week say that she's gonna, if I call her again, she's gonna rip my freaking throat out. And I'm like, okay, you're having a bad day. You know, but you can't take this personally. Okay, I mean, it's a whole thing, and at the end of the day, everything should be your database based. Okay, so the reason why we call, so my pre-foreclosure people, just so you know, most of them are gonna save their houses. They're going on my database to become my sphere, so I could build my database, so I could get better deals. Okay.
Sell it after they save it.
Right, or they're gonna refer me out to their friends and family. Oh my God, this guy was so nice. He called his real estate agent. Oh my God, there's sharks. No, he was really nice actually. He helped me save my house. You know, I mean, that's what you want. You know, the money will come. The easiest deals you always will get, it will be from your sphere. It's building up to your sphere. The problem with the sphere is, though, you have to give the best service possible. That's where we come down to service. Service, service, service. Okay. Any questions? I know we're focused around me. Does anyone else have any great ideas where they're getting their business this year?
Probably 70, I would say 75% of my business, 20% is referrals. People
Referrals.
just refer all the time.
Referrals
I
are
have
great.
Old clients, 4 or 5 years, calling me back. They send their brother, sister.
See,
So
that's
I'm a big
perfect.
believer in this sphere, and I always keep in contact with them. I always call them, and they always refer me to them.
Do you know your percentage of,
No, sadly not.
so that would be really cool to know though, right? So if you did your KW Maps business plan, you would actually start with that, knowing exactly where all your business came from. According to DDT2, say what the percentage you should be getting for your database? Referrals in business, anyone? 10% minimum. So if you have 100 people, you should have 10. Okay. All right. You need to work, and so that's how you have to look at it. All right. And then if you will really work your database, they're going to teach you this in bold. At the high end, it's 2 out of 12, so it's like 1 out of 6. So it's between 1 out of 6 and 1 out of 10 should be coming from your database in your business. If you're not getting that, you're not working your database correctly. All right. Who else? Where do you get your business, Derek?
85% repeat and
Yeah.
referral.
Yeah, that's because you're cool. So that's where you want to be, 85%, you know?
Living
Yeah.
the dream.
What's that?
Keep living the dream.
She's living the dream. Her phone just rings. Do you do your 36 touch, or you reach out?
So I do handwritten birthday cards and home anniversary cards. I do football, baseball, and yearly calendars. You know, that's it. God
Right.
just hands them to me.
So the great thing is that, so Terry has a reputation of great service. That's why I narrowed it. Of course, she's going to have a higher percentage. All right. Okay. If you have ADHD and you didn't hire an assistant, you'll be around 50. Okay. I'm around 50. Okay. I hired in the system. But the thing is that it comes down to service, and the service from, like right now, service doesn't end at the closing. Service ends when you die. Okay. That's really when we stop servicing our clients. Okay. Where are you going to get your business, sir? What's your name?
I'm Sebastian.
Sebastian. Okay.
So I was planning to do expired sphere, obviously, and I want to start with a TikTok page as well.
Okay. All right. Cool. Talk to Joel. Yeah. She lives that. She lives that illusion. So I'm not a social media guy. I only post on Facebook. I hate Instagram. I can't stand it. And TikTok, I just think it's funny. So, but yeah. So I mean, but that's the real estate trend. So if you're going to make a commitment, how many TikToks are you going to do a month?
I want to do at least 2 a week.
2 weeks.
So probably around 8 a month.
8 a month. Okay.
Just to start out.
So that would be on your GPS. So how many TikToks a year? You have to figure that out and work it through.
That's what 10.6.
3 times 12.
All right. And how much time are you going to work on a TikTok when you make a TikTok? Like how much time during your day? So you're going to time block that, right?
Probably.
Probably. I would only assume, right? Yeah.
I want to do them mostly for open houses and shows.
To open houses. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So I will say that, and I'm speaking from Facebook marketing. Make sure you don't overdo it on real estate. You need to actually do, like back in the Facebook days, back when I actually cared, it was 1 out of 7 posts should be real estate. Everything else should be personal. Ben Kenny was actually the king of Facebook back when Facebook was king. And was you kidding back there? And so, so we would post, but they really want to know. My posts get more interaction when I post about me go to my daughter's softball game than I did about real estate. And the thing is, you don't want to become background static when you're out there in social media. That's the only advice I have for that. Because again, I'm more old school when it comes to lead generating. Okay. Anyone else have any great ideas of where we're ready a business? I find it interesting no one's brought up open house except Larry.
I do open houses.
Either.
The majority of mine, well, I work with them, so, the majority of mine has come from open.
Okay,
houses
good.
And referrals from open house leads.
Referrals from open house leads. Tell me more about that.
After I've done this.
Okay, good.
I mean, it works.
So there's nothing more important than the service of the deal. That's one thing I will say that I needed a growth area in my career with, making sure that you are servicing them correctly, because if without good service, you're not gonna get the referrals. Yeah. So that's great. Yeah. Joe Larry's kicking her
Dawn
ass.
has success with,
What's that?
Dawn has success with open houses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get them now.
They're coming back. Don't worry. Don't worry, Connie.
I will put it out there, like, I want open houses, like, nobody's business, because a lot of my referrals and a lot of my business are from open houses. So I have clients that, I've sold their house, they bought a house, they referred me to their sister, their mom, their dad. And then I have other people, I love doing open houses, it's like my thing. And like, I
Right.
love doing it, and I started copying Larry's stuff, so I'm like, I'm still calling off of an open house I did the other day, and I got, people today to talk to in appointments, so it's still calling, and, so I love them, I want them, I just need more.
They're coming back for
I know,
the
that's
day,
what
which is a great
I'm
thing.
patient, so.
I mean, we're gonna start seeing this market
What?
really level out. We're gonna see this market really level out, and it's gonna become a regular market again.
Yeah.
Which I'm very excited about.
Yeah.
We can't I actually stopped working with buyers last year because I could not deal with the no home inspection thing that was going on in this industry. I just said, that's fine. So if you look at my sales, you can see that I was half open because I only did half of my goals. And I told Cam, we'll close down half the business, I did not like that. Then now we get back to actually servicing our clients like we were supposed to do, right? I don't even know what we were doing back then. I really don't. We've had this talk.
I have all those first-time home buyers from the last 2 years that I asked them one question. Would you be okay if 6 months after you bought a house, you woke up and you owed 30% more than what your house was worth? Would you be okay with that? And if they said no, I said, I'll call you as soon as the market changes.
Right.
Renew your lease.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, that's the way to
And
do
they're
it.
all gonna come back to me.
They will come back to you. The funny thing is that right now, the pre-foreclosures are going crazy. I just had this talk with this one guy. I swear, God bless him. Because I don't know how I got on a share of sale list. I thought Wells Fargo stopped this during COVID. It's like, I got off the phone, I'm like, poor guy doesn't know COVID's over. Okay, great. Okay, we moved on. But it was funny because a lot of people, I actually sat there laughing about the whole thing, but no one told him to start repaying his mortgage. So it was kind of weird. So we're going to see a lot of things. A lot of things that we're going to see in this new market is when people were in quarantine, we were all scared shitless. We were getting calls from my banks and they said, you could stop paying your mortgage. They said, okay, what are you going to do? And they're like, we'll work it out. We'll work it out. Yeah. So a lot of people actually need to pay everything a lump sum back in one payment. So, that's how we're going to work it out. So things to keep on. This is a great market we're walking into. Being a new agent in this market, I think, is the best because you guys actually, this is where the fortunes are made. Fortunes are made in a shifting market, not a hot market. All right, cold market is where it's all made. You've been around as long as me. How long have you been an agent?
29.
You're 29 years?
Mhm.
Really? When did you become an agent? Like when you were 12? I'm sorry. I actually had my license at 20, so you got me beat. This is a normal market. We've seen a lot of things. This is exactly where all the wealth is made, and all the amateurs leave our business. Okay, we saw it back in I've only been through one crash. That was 2009, and yeah, those people are gone for the most part. Okay, you're going to see the same thing. We're not going to crash. but people are gonna actually have to learn how to work, and that's the big thing, okay? All right, there's no other questions, guys. I mean, anyone out there in virtual land, anything? And I've been ignoring you. It's not you, I just don't like Zoom. Be honest. All right, guys, that's it. You guys have fun, peace out. Any questions, just give me a shout anytime.
Would you call the foreclosures or you let them know that you know that
Yes, my script for pre-foreclosure is very simple. Hi, Mr. Homeowner. My name is Joel Gruenke with Keller Williams Real Estate. I'm calling because your house is on the sheriff's sale list. Are you looking to sell your house and get your equity out, or are you just gonna let the bank take it? Let the conversation go from there. It's the simplest script.
Okay, let's say they say, we just paid up, it should be, how would they tell me? I've had several of them that tell me that we just paid up.
Then congratulate them. Yeah, you give me your information. Say, listen, I specialize in these. I'm happy, congratulations. If you ever have any problems, give me a call because this is what I did. So I go a little further because I lost my house in a crash. So I personally say, listen, this is what I do. I started doing this back when I had a short sale on my own house back in the crash. If you ever have any questions, let me know. If it's okay, it's all right if I touch base with you from time to time? Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, great. Boom, they're in my database. That's how I do it. Okay, so.
From a banker's standpoint, now I congratulate them for the asset that they own, and then see if I could use the equity in the home to now consolidate any other expensive monthly debts.
Of course, that's what the banker does.
Yeah, but
Listen.
you can kind of just educate them that what they own is like an asset, and there's all this equity in it, and maybe they have high interest in debt elsewhere that they can actually use that.
I've seen people
Yeah,
from.
that conversation kind of is generating my leads and just thinking that's by
So it's
understanding real estate, but by more so background in finance and banking.
So it's interesting. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of the people that you're calling, just so you know, when they are losing their houses, think they don't have any equity.
Right.
I actually have been I've sold 3 homes this year off the list pendants that they walked away with over $100,000. They had no clue. They didn't know. They're going through a divorce. They didn't just go over COVID. They're like, they have no idea they have equity because they're too worried about staying afloat in their own world. They don't know that they're sitting on a gold mine.
I had a client that they had no money down, but their parents' house was paid off free and clear. They wanted to help. And I'm like, 80% of the equity.
What's that?
They thought they had no money down, but their parents were willing to help and had a home paid free and clear. So I'm like, technically, you got 80% of the equity in other houses down payment.
Right.
It's just on the table, just to throw it out there. So they were willing to put $30,000 down. They didn't realize they thought they were going to be a zero down buyer, but they actually were $30,000 down. Using some equity.
I feel better calling it.
I tell you, you do good service. I mean, let's be honest. They couldn't sell their house in a honest market and known the man. Trust me, it was their agent. Okay, we need to help them. Okay.
You can open up and see pictures or descriptions and just know right there why.
So a lot of times you go in there, right, to pictures. A lot of times it's just communication. You just say,
I have one this week that's,
Right.
that's what it was, communication, no communication.
right, I got to call this girl down in South Philly today. We took a $35,000 price reduction for her home last week. We're gonna have to do it again. You can't get shown. Guess what? She wants to
So
sell.
I'm really good at my
Now they're motivated to sell. They're unmotivated.
Sometimes even
Maybe then we should take it off the market.
record a video.
You know, and then
focus
wait,
on my
you
house
know?
so that I can add
But these are
value
decisions.
after
That's
the
what they
fact.
pay us to get off for. It's taking care of
I'm
it.
pretty good at
You know, I
posting
mean,
stuff, but I definitely want to.
the thing is you really have to be in touch with it. You know?
Letters.
I actually did, but I'm still.
What's that?
I just think you did some letters.
2 years from now.
So I use, right, so I put them on my 8x8. I actually just set that up. Again, I'm a slacker.
Yeah.
So everybody who I get off of my phone calls that say, if I'm getting a call, I put them on an 8x8.
Reminds people
I think I think they're only like 7x8 though, just so you know. I know I'm full 8x8, but just so they get in touch, so they get the personal card, follow up, make sure they got the card, send them, mark it up there. I mean, there's so many things you can do. And just get them up, right? I mean, you know,
Sometimes.
building this business, I mean, this business is the best business to be in.
Yeah.
But it can be also the biggest business. So you have to focus in on the pluses side, you know, and I have to say, I mean, helping out these people is just a way to go. I love calling, I have to say, I love calling my people coaches. And people are like, you're crazy. I go,
I just started doing that.
Yeah.
I've had a few referrals and I was
so if you get a short sell, one thing you have to figure out is who's negotiating the short sell. So I always say, outsource your short sales. I will never negotiate with short sales. I just don't do it. I actually have Diane Farmer in my office negotiate all my short sales. Have her point offer. But yeah, I mean, if you're in touch and you keep your morality about you, oh, this is not my thing.